my family, my loved ones and my community. And they come to inspire within our hearts that in everything in life try our best not to postpone. Don't listen to the whispers of shaitan that say, later, do it later, pray later, do this awrad later, do this good deed later. That lapse in time that shaitan is hoping for is that you will run into your own destiny of difficulty, knowing that you're going to face some sort of obstacle and difficulty. And the good deeds that Allah gives to us when we're taught in this religion, pray, fast, give, do all of these actions are a protection from our bad character and our sayyat. The sins of mankind bring destruction upon themselves, and all the shaitan has to do is inspire, hold off. Means the ability for people just to have doubt and begin to hold off. Shaitan's hopes are at that time of holding off you will run into the destiny of your own sins. And the only way to wipe the table from the destiny of our sins is by our good actions. That when we give in the way, when we support in the way, when we give out the articles, we do our khidmat, we do our prayers, we do everything Allah has asked for us at that time. This even the postponing of prayers, when we postpone it, the difficulty that may come to us is what shaitan is hoping for. That if you were supposed to pray at 1, he postpones you, hoping by to the next one at 3:30 you have run into some sort of a difficulty. Sayyata amalina, when we're asking, Ya Rabbi save me from the sayyat of my actions, from the sins of my actions, then Allah is giving us a reply within our hearts, if you want protection from the sins of your own actions, your own hands have brought forth, do the good deeds that you have been taught by Muhammadun Rasulullah. But the guise and the trickery of shaitan is to get us to postpone our good deeds, so that perchance the sins of my actions may reach me before the blessings of Allah to save me. That salah when prayed may take many difficulties that were coming to you at 2 o'clock, but your time was to pray at 1 o'clock. Shaitan's hope is that, why don't you postpone, maybe you can even miss the prayer and now be entitled to more difficulty. Means this is a continuous difficulty against shaitan that we are facing. When we're talking about 6 directions of attraction and the magnetism that moving towards these are all of the trickeries of shaitan. That in everything comes an inspiration to do good. Why that inspiration comes into your heart is from your creator. Your nafs never inspires you to do good, it's not in that business. Your nafs is on a different team and it only inspires you towards evilness. Don't think, oh this is my nafs telling me I should do this, I should support this, so I'm going to postpone it, let me think about it and contemplate. Any inspiration towards goodness, to support, to give, to do, to give a khidmat, to pray, to fast, those are inspirations and commands coming from the heavens, given to the consciousness of the servant. At that very moment that inspiration is coming, it's an inspiration to protect you from something else that has been written for you. And our lives and the miraculous nature of our life, if it was to be like a Matrix movie, that a bullet is coming for your head as an example. And this barakah of this path and love for Prophet as if this bullet is slowing down and inspiration comes into your heart, give this or do this or go pray right now. As if you moved to the right and that difficulty went past you. You may not have seen it because the immensity of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is a greater ocean of what has been kept away from us is what we don't know. We only caught a few of maybe the big and obvious difficulties, but our daily life is a najat and salvation from the Divine. Don't ignore the inspirations that come to the soul from the consciousness. That is not coming from the ego. The ego only inclines mankind towards evilness. And the inspirations that come to the soul that, go pray an extra prayer right now, go read your Dalail Khairat, go sit and do these salawats, 100 salawats. Whatever the spectrum of inspiration, give this sadaqah, give this zakat, whatever the inspiration at that time, there's a reason for that inspiration to come. The barakah and the blessings of the servants of yaqeen is certainty. They have a certainty with what they hear from their spiritual hearing because they controlled their physical hearing. Physical hearing is where shaitan enters. Spiritual hearing can only be opened when the servant has a discipline over their physical and says, no, this is the waswas of shaitan, and spit upon him. As a result, Allah grants you that you've controlled physical hearing and the deception of your physical hearing, and I increase the power of your spiritual hearing. As a result of the spiritual hearing, the inspirations then are to be followed and acted upon. And the same for one's vision, that they deny the physical sight and say, the eyes have nothing to gain from what it sees. And I took a path in life in which to close the eyes and ask for the eyes of my heart to be granted. And all the senses begin to have their certainty. And what Allah describes at the beginning of the Qur'an is hudan al-muttaqeen. This way, this Qur'an, this guidance, this religion is hudan al-muttaqeen, is only a guidance for people of muttaqeen whom they trained with a shaykh to teach them that don't listen to your physical hearing, pay no attention to what your physical eyes think they see, but develop your spiritual hearing and the inspiration through your connection with the shaykh, your spiritual vision through your connections with the shaykhs and their teachings of muraqabah, and you become a servant of certainty. And as a result of that certainty, Allah will begin to test you. Do you hear the inspiration coming? Act upon it. Just as if you're sitting in the presence of the shaykh and he asks something of you, can you go do this? And you just sit and look at him. An hour passes, 2 hours passes, until shaitan hopes that you ignored it and completely disobeyed it. And say, oh sorry, I forgot. And many people train themselves, no I can't do that, I have to train myself in the physical presence of the shaykh that whenever he's asking something to the best and the quickest of my ability. There's no difference in the spiritual realm because the inspiration's coming from the heavens. From ati'ullah, ati' Rasul, ulul amri minkum. Which of these ulul am are inspiring the servant to do this? And when they see the servant just sits and ignores it, then it comes as a check mark against the servant that they're not achieving yaqeen, they're not listening to the inspiration coming into their hearing. They're not listening into the inspirations that come into their visions, and at the same time they're continuously asking for certainty. But faith is in actions. Amanu wa amilu salihah means that this level of belief is the same as the physical, much more intense. O you who believe, have righteous actions. From what you hear of your inspiration, act upon it. Then these ulul amr that are around us understand these are one of the rijal. They are inspired and they act upon that inspiration. They are inspired and